Hi, I'm Kelly Bohm, and today I'm joined by Terry Firkins, a woman who helped shape me into the leader that I am today. Terry built her career by treating every workplace like it was her own, and she became known for saying really hard things with kindness, clarity, and a ton of love. She taught me how to lead with intention, how to speak professionally, and how to handle really tough conversations without losing a relationship with another person. We dig into the wisdom that she passed on to me, from word choices to work culture, and the legacy that she's building through the lives that she's touched, especially my life. And this episode is sponsored by PA Troyer Incorporated, my dad's architecture firm. He's been designing buildings and wrangling five kids since 1970. In 1988, he launched his own full service firm where big ideas turn into beautiful buildings with no corporate BS, just real human beings who care. Thanks, Dad, for sponsoring this episode and for showing me that architecture is way more than blueprints and buildings. Let's jump into this episode. So I
Yes.
wanted to talk to you today. You made a comment on Facebook when I posted my mom's interview or her and I's podcast, her and I's conversation together. I think it was on Facebook. You made a comment. And when
Mhm.
you did that, it just brought back all of these floods of memories to
Mhm.
me of the influence you had in my life in my early 20s. You were the second person I worked for out of
Mhm.
college. And I was new to the area. I was new to Manlius, New York.
Mhm.
And just seeing your name on that comment just really reminded me of the love that you gave me during those years of
Mhm.
my life and how, my mom is so influential in my life. And I think you have shaped so much of who I am as a businesswoman,
Aw.
how I lead, and some of the things I say and I don't say.
How
I would
badly
love
short
to
is your
start.
tongue?
Yeah, please. I think we should tell this story. Do you remember the story about the pumpkins?
Pumpkins.
Do you remember that?
You
Oh my
know,
gosh. Okay,
refresh my memory.
so I was hired to work for you. You were managing Dr. Gregory Moore's dental office. And my friends, this
Mhm.
was the most beautiful luxury dental office in central New York,
Yes.
right?
It was a dream.
It
Mhm.
really was. It was gorgeous. So I was the concierge at the front. Basically, I was the front desk person, but what I was not viewed as a front desk person. And I love that
Mhm.
about the culture that you and Dr. Moore created. It was
Mhm.
a luxury experience when someone walked in that door.
Yes.
At some point, I was given a promotion. I was more of like a marketing coordinator
Mhm.
and dealt more with collecting money and scheduling and things like that. But we did a patient appreciation day and we got pumpkins. Do you remember this?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. So many pumpkins.
So many pumpkins. They were all over the desk. There was like two huge desks as people were checking out, pumpkins everywhere. And
Mhm.
this, I don't remember the woman who came out, which we'd be breaking HIPAA law if I shared this person's name. But she
Right.
was a very well-to-do woman, very proper, who came out. She'd had her dental treatment done, and I was giving her a pumpkin. And she took one, and I said, "Oh, don't take that one. It's boogered up." Do you remember me saying this?
I now remember that was one of your phrases that if it was ugly or whatever, that was your phrase.
I
Boogered up.
know. I never say it. I have not said it since that day, Terry,
Mhm.
thanks to you. I said it and I didn't even think anything of it. And both you and her were so shocked. She almost fell on the floor. Um,
Mm.
and so I really am thankful for you. You helped me to become a little more refined.
Oh, you
It's
give me a
true.
lot of credit, but you have to be willing
Y-
to hear the criticism, right? And
I
take
was
it.
willing. Yeah. So how is that difficult to do? I wasn't the only person you've managed in your life.
No,
How many offices have you managed or how many years had you been in managing offices and running offices and practice
I'm
practices?
Well, I managed two practices, but did a couple of years of consulting with dental practices.
Okay.
Yes. So,
What are those
several.
conversations like when you have to correct someone who works for you?
Well, you, when you say anything, you have to be able to say it with love and concern.
Mhm.
Um, and I hope that that's the way it came across. I didn't take it lightly. I don't like to criticize people. I don't.
Right. Right.
But I was given a job, and with the mission statement about relationships and comfort and service, um that just yeah, the wording of everything, it's
Right.
so important. It really
It is.
is.
Well, and that was you were doing that in a time where there wasn't Chat GPT. So in
Right.
this day and age, you can, type out your feelings, especially if you're sending an email. You can say like, "I am so frustrated. I can't stand you. I hate the way you say those things." You can say
Oh,
that to Chat GPT, tell it to make it nice, and it makes it more refined for you. I think back, even 2 years ago, you had to figure that out yourself, how to be more
yes.
refined and graceful
Yes. Yes.
and
Well, when I was brought up too, it was about other people's feelings.
Mhm.
And I do think that that's a little bit of missing these days, but it's not all about me. You know what I mean? The feeling piece of it.
Right.
It's how is this person going to take it, and will it ultimately get into their brain
Yeah.
and, yeah, be
Right.
received. Right.
Right.
I wasn't into making enemies, right?
No.
No,
No.
I wanted to work with these people. And if you're working with people, you have to be able to um, talk to them in a manner that they're going to hear.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've had to fire people. I think while
Oh
I was
gosh.
there, I think maybe even you let maybe 1 or 2 people go,
Mhm.
maybe. Um, how how's that?
Oh dear.
Have you had to fire a lot of people in your career?
The latter part of my career, it seemed like there were more going. Yes.
Okay.
Um, and it's difficult. Um,
Right.
I, th- I, I think that they perceived it. I did care about them, but it
Mhm.
just wasn't a fit.
Okay.
And that's the way that I portrayed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have to do that by yourself, or would the doctor that you were working for, would he be in there in that meeting with you, or would you handle that by yourself?
It depended on the position. Like if it
Okay.
was somebody that worked directly with the doctor, then he would come in because he would be able to evaluate, what it was that they weren't living up to. But if
Right.
it was in the business office, it was usually just me.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite things that you taught me was how to ask for money.
Oh, yes.
I remember one of the first times that I sat at that desk and someone came out and I had to ask them for like $5,000. It was like, I don't know, 2
Mhm.
crowns or maybe a crown, 2 crowns, 2 root canals. I'm not sure what it was.
Mhm.
But I had to sit there with a straight face and say, "It's $5,000," and then just keep my mouth closed.
Mhm.
And I wasn't making a lot of money, I think maybe at that point I was making $24 an hour, so, but I'm like, "That is a lot of money." Like, for me to save up $5,000, that would be a lot of money. Um,
Mhm.
but but I had to say it with a straight face, and by the time I left there, I was, like, feeling like I should be charging more. So how because
Uh-huh.
I saw everything that went into it and the training that the doctor had, I think you taught me a lot of, like, the value of what I was asking for.
Mhm.
How did you learn to ask for money? Was that a natural thing for you to do?
Um, I think that there are a couple of things that happened in my history that taught me how to do that. And one was when I worked in a very well-to-do area, and
Okay.
I was working directly with the dentist. And I remember him saying, listen, you're going to need a crown, but first we have to do a root canal, and I'm going to send you to a specialist. And that's like overwhelming. This guy didn't bat an eyelash, the patient. And then we walked out as we waited for the anesthesia. And the, I said to the doctor, he's wearing like dirty pants, and he's got a flannel shirt on, and his hair is unkempt. And the doctor said to me, never judge a person by their looks.
Mm.
And this man has more money than God. And I said, really? And
That's
it was
great advice.
then, yes. And then the other part of it is, it says, isn't everyone entitled to the best possible treatment? And
Mm.
we need to tell them about it, and then let them decide, not we decide ahead of time.
I
Yeah.
love that. That's something that my husband has told me over the years too. He's done
Mhm.
a lot of sales training and he sold books door to door when he was in college. And that was one of the things he learned too during his training. When my husband was like feeling that the books were too expensive or whatever, the person training him said, "Go to Walmart and stand at the end of the checkout counter and watch the garbage that people buy and look at the dollar amount that they spend."
Mhm.
Trainer said, "How much more valuable are these books to these people?
Mhm.
If we can educate these people." And they were Christian books. So he was selling Bibles and books. So the
Mhm.
trainer was like, "How much more valuable is what you're selling than all this junk at Walmart?" So
Very good.
explain. So I love that. Like explain to people what this opportunity is, how you're going to help them, how you're going to fix this, and then let
Mhm.
them decide.
Let them decide. Then you present, well, yes, you're going to present the number, but then you're going to be quiet, because they need time to process, and they need to know that you're ready and listening for their concerns. And then the first thing that comes out of their mouth is what their biggest concern is. And then that gives you the opportunity to talk to them,
Mhm.
or work with them to either alleviate the fear or help them settle their money, concerns.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I love it. I didn't even realize all this was happening at the time while you were training me. I
Hmm.
don't know. I didn't really care. I was 23 years old. And then I don't know. I didn't really care about dentistry or I wasn't picturing where I was going to be 17 years later.
Hmm.
But now, like looking back on that, it was such good training for me. Even now, I have a friend who's a great saleswoman, and her magic touch is that she keeps her mouth closed. She presents everything and then she's really quiet. She just stays
Hmm.
silent. And that is how I train the people on my team when they're selling. Let them know, like, you do go through the sales process. You say the
Hmm.
number and then you zip your lips.
Because otherwise what happens is you're convincing trying to convince them even more. The more you say, the deeper the hole that you get into,
Right.
and you're not letting them think, and they're feeling pressured, right?
Right. Right. And
So,
nobody wants to feel pressured. People run the second they feel pressure. Nobody
yeah,
wants
it
that at
needs to
all.
be their decision.
Totally.
Hmm.
So, what was your favorite role during all your years in your career?
My favorite role. Hmm. Well, the place I enjoyed most was working for Dr. Moore,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, because he had great confidence in me, and he had
Mhm.
my back. He had my back all the time, which in management, if you don't have that, you might as well give it up. Your boss needs to have your back.
I just wrote an LinkedIn post about that yesterday, because I was in a sales meeting with a client or a future client. Actually, they said yes yesterday, so they are a client.
Yeah.
And another of my team members was in the meeting, and her solution, the girl on my team, to a question from the other person was, "We've got you covered. We've got your back, no matter what you need." So we do gifting, we do handwritten cards, we help organize events for clients and just keep them in general touch and in good relationships with their customers and referral partners.
Mm-hmm.
And Abby from my team told this new client of ours, "We've got you covered. We've got your back." And I think that's really important for someone who's hiring you or spending money on you. And it's super important in your team. You have to know that no matter what's going on, that person sitting next to you or that person who's, sharing a Zoom call with you on your team, that they've got your back.
Mm-hmm.
That if you fall short, if you mess up, that they're going to be there to help pull you out of it, to save you, to look for problems, to come up with solutions. That does
Mm-hmm.
feel really, really good.
Yeah, if you don't have that, then you'll be looking to hire somebody new not long after you've not given them their coverage, the
Right.
back. Mm-hmm.
Right. So have you had to replace yourself? Have you had to hire someone to replace you, um, to take over? Because or have your replacements been found? Have you had to hire someone to do your job as you've stepped out?
No,
No.
no.
I think you'd be really hard shoes to fill. Have you ever met anyone like you?
um, this crazy? No. Well, that I think what really makes me different is that when I was working for Dr. Moore,
Mhm.
I felt like I owned the practice. It
Yeah,
it just it it really drove me. I didn't take over, you know what I'm
right,
saying? But
right.
um yeah, I treated it like it was my business.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I don't know of many people that really think that way or that I've met. Um, maybe
right.
you, but not, yeah,
Yeah,
it's makes you different. Mhm.
it does. And I think about the employees that work for me now. I think those are the ones that are here that we have kept, that we promote,
Mhm.
that we want to take care of because they treat my company like it's their own.
Mhm.
So when I started my business, Terry, I was a 30% owner and my partner was 70%. So
Uh-huh.
John was 30%. I was nothing. And my partner was 70%. So I came in to help grow the business. So we had these different like financial markers. So once we hit
Uh-huh.
it, then we were 40-60 split. And then I was kind of stuck there. So I actually hired a coach. I don't think John was happy about it because John is a coach. He does performance coaching.
Mhm. I know I've
Yeah.
attended his
Oh, yes, yes,
class.
yes.
Yes,
So
don't forget.
so I hired a coach though because I was stuck. It was one January, I forget what year it was, maybe 2017
Mhm.
and 2018 maybe. And I was just stuck. I was sick too. So whenever I'm sick, I feel like the sky is falling, the world is crashing, everything's terrible. And I saw this ad on Facebook, like basically geared toward women. They targeted me, a woman in their 30s, burned out, don't know what's next. So I'm like, sign me up. So I
That's
started
good.
being coached by this company, and the coach said to me in my frustration, I was like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck at this 40-60. And she was like, Kelly, are you behaving like a 40% owner? And I was like, yeah, I kind of am. I'm not behaving like a 50% owner. She's like, don't behave like a 50% owner. She said, behave like a 100% owner. And Terry, that's when it switched. That's when
That's great.
the whole business started taking off. And I really started looking at it as like this, I own this. So I think that, well, and I'm interviewing you right now. I'm talking to you right now. I'm not talking to Dr. Moore. I love him. He's
Right.
amazing.
Yes,
But
he
he needs to
is.
develop me and train me and, spend that same time. He was awesome.
Mhm,
And I think what's
mhm.
awesome about him is he knew that he needed to get the right team in place.
That's right. And we did have a really good team through good interviewing and um
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and having those core values, you had the mission statement.
Mhm.
Remind me of it again. What was it? It's been,
Building relationships through service, comfort, and technology.
that's amazing. I feel like I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Mhm.
I'm just not touching people's teeth.
And neither was I at the time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's probably a
Yes,
good
that
thing.
is good. Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so he shared a building with another dentist.
Yes.
They were never partners, right?
No.
They were never partners, but they shared a space.
Right.
There came a crossroads where they no longer did. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you talk about that or no?
I can.
Yeah.
Sure, I can. Um, well, it was obvious that they didn't have the same work ethic
Hmm.
at the time. I mean, not to say that there was poor treatment, it was just Dr. Moore loved his patients and was like with them 24/7. His schedule was full, people wanted to see him. And um, the other doctor, not as
Yeah.
much.
It was a
Yeah.
slower pace. There wasn't the same drive to grow.
Right. And the technology acceptance was not there either.
Right. Well, yeah, that
So
was when everything changed to instead of the charts being in file folders, like a huge room or like tons of storage, they were all electronic. I
that
think that was
was,
even part of me coming on was like we were getting that, we were transferring that.
we were every day there was a stack of patient files and we just put them into the system. And so the next day they were ready for the doctor to
Oh,
see
that's right. So whoever
electronically.
was on the schedule, that's who we would scan those documents. So we weren't
Mhm,
overwhelmed by like starting with random people that weren't even
mhm.
going to be on the schedule.
Right,
Oh my
right.
goodness. That is such
Yes.
an undertaking.
And remember the end when we finally got to the last one was like, yay. But then Dr. Moore took in this other dentist and it's
Yeah.
kind of started all over again for them anyway.
Yeah.
But we helped.
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes there's a season for things, and it was probably helpful because that was that big, beautiful building. I mean, it looked like a
Mhm.
ski lodge. It was gorgeous.
Yes. Oh,
So to have someone in there to pay rent and to help offset some of the cost, I'm sure was
mhm.
really nice.
Yeah, that didn't hurt
Yes.
at
Okay,
all.
so what happened? Were you still there when he sold because he's no longer practicing, Dr. Moore, who you worked for, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So
Mhm.
were you there when he sold the business or had you already moved on?
No, I was there during the transition
Okay.
and did help with that. Yes.
Did you stay on with the new dentist for a while?
Yes. He was like my son.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yes. In fact, he called me his work mother.
Aw.
I went for being a work wife to a work mother.
I know. So tell me about that. I mean, how was it? You entered into the workforce at what age?
Mhm.
When did you really start like having this responsibility and doing like managing, like
Around the
taking
age
on
of
them?
40.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
I think that's so common. Women stepping into their career really at age 40. And I think it's really fun to see. I think by the time men hit 40, they're like bored, burned out, and just want to like get by. They're like, I don't want to push to get to the next level. Most guys, from what I've seen. I think women come in super fresh at 40. We're like, you know what? We've been staying home with our kids, or we've been working part-time jobs, or
Hmm.
we had a career and then we stopped and we've been volunteering at school or whatever. And then
Hmm.
at 40, you're like, you know what? I'm actually pretty smart. And I have a lot of energy and I'm excited and I want to use my gifts and talents.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think it's a pretty common thing.
Well, for me, it was I went into the workforce. Um, I'd always wanted to be in dentistry, but I started as a dental assistant. And
Uh-huh.
at the time, you didn't have to have formal training. Now,
Oh,
along the way, I did get training.
okay.
Um, but at age 40, things changed for me at home.
Okay.
And I had to um, and was made all new again. I mean, it
Okay.
was just like I found myself, my independent self, and
Okay.
um, and situations changed and opportunities just kind of happened.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so
How was that? So you were working then from in your the career, the
mhm,
manager role, like really taking ownership from 40 until you're not working anymore.
no,
You don't have to tell us your age. I know you're probably 42 now.
yes.
Um, but what was that like? I mean, going from the work wife to the work mother, was that hard? I mean, you kind of like, your kids get older, you have
Mhm,
grandkids. So I think you kind of get
mhm,
accustomed to that and you're excited to be a grandma. You're
mhm,
excited to be a mom. So and you kind of accept like, okay, yeah, I'm not one of the younger ones.
mhm.
Has it been a challenge to gracefully grow up? Do you ever struggle with it? Like as a woman?
You mean post working
I don't
or
know, in all
the
of it.
work wife?
During it, post
But
it, like what is it?
from the working wife, the work wife to the
Mhm.
work mother, um, it was rather smooth because I had done the consulting,
Okay.
and they're looking to you to help guide them, and
Okay.
that was Jason. I
Okay,
mean,
that was the role, being the
that was the
consultant.
role. He had a lot of questions. Of course, he was also, working with Dr. Moore, and Dr. Moore loves to teach.
Yes, yeah,
So,
yeah.
between the two of us, yes. And Dr. Henderson has got a thriving practice.
Oh, good, so he's still there. It's going well.
Yes.
Is it just him there?
No, now he has an associate.
Okay, okay.
So that place it's great.
You get called in to consult anymore? To be the work mother anymore?
No,
Okay,
no. I would love, some part of me would love to do something now,
yeah,
uh, part time, but the opportunity hasn't opened.
yeah. Well, and I
Yet.
think sometimes if you lock into something, then your freedom is gone. Right? I mean,
True
you
that.
bounce back and forth between Florida and New York, so
Hmm.
you have a good life.
Yes. I sat in the chair in Florida at my new dentist, and they were talking, and of course they asked me what I did, and
I'm about
what
to
I
say,
said, and oh, well, our office manager is leaving, and so right now they're like, and I'm like, don't say anymore.
don't volunteer myself.
I'm just
Don't
not.
raise my hand.
I love to be needed,
Yeah.
and so that would have like really filled me up, but then where's retirement?
Yeah, would
So,
have filled up your schedule too.
yes.
One of the things you used to always say is food is love.
Oh, yes.
I say it all the time now.
Hmm.
You know that? It's my like one of my phrases, and I got that from you.
Hmm.
And it's so true, isn't it? I don't know if you're the very first person on the planet to say food is love, but I've held on to it.
Well, obviously I have too.
You look so good. Okay, if you are listening online,
um,
you got to you got to log in on your computer and see Terry's beautiful skin and face. You look
oh
amazing.
dear.
No, I think it's really, when I buy gifts for people, I usually buy things that are consumable. Food,
Hmm.
like chocolate, wine, that's food, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
or like a candle, something that they can
Hmm.
consume, because everyone has
Yes.
so many things. They don't need more stuff. But food is love. If someone has a family member that passes away, or an animal, bring them a meal, make them some cookies.
Or make them breakfast on a Friday morning when they're coming in and it's just a half a day. Remember those?
We never worked on Fridays. Did we work Fridays? I thought we
Oh, we
did.
went to Fridays. I'm so sorry.
You
Um,
did?
we did go to
That's
Fridays, half a
terrible.
day. Well, because, Dr. Henderson was an associate and that was an available day. So
Oh,
we would take turns making breakfast for everyone so
that's
that
cute.
while we were having our morning huddle, we were also devouring, French toast casserole or
Fun. Oh, I love it
it
when we used to
was.
do like the potlucks. So with Syracuse, New York is very Italian. And I remember
Mhm,
we would, I don't know, people bring lasagna and I was in charge of the salad. And
mhm.
the other dentist who worked there, I think he was nervous because he's like, oh, this girl from the Midwest who just makes mayonnaise casseroles. Like, what is she going to bring? But I like got real Parmesan cheese and I shredded it. And he was so happy that I didn't use like the sprinkled cheese, like the stuff from the can. I'm like, nope, I will shave this cheese. I learned to cook from being in Syracuse.
Oh, good.
Yeah, my mom doesn't cook. Sorry, mom, if you're listening. Um, she's got I don't no, she's not a cook. She doesn't cook. She doesn't like to cook. But I learned from all those women at Eastern Hills and
Mhm,
just everyone was so good. You invited me into your home so many times, hosted my baby shower
mhm. We
with,
did. I remember that now. Yes.
yes, at your home. Oh, there was another funny thing that you taught me. Brush your teeth like in the evening and then the kitchen is closed.
That's right.
That's the way to keep from snacking.
Mhm.
I don't do that, but I think about it.
See, I didn't know it at the time, but I was planting all of these voices in your
Oh
head.
my gosh, I'm telling you, you had a huge influence on my life and how I treat people and how I run my business and the things I do and don't say. I mean, you really did help sharpen me. And a few times you had like hard conversations with me, like I said something offensive or
We
not
know.
appropriate. And you would always like talk to me about it in a very calm manner and
Mhm.
like guide me. It was so nice.
Remember the list of here's how we say it? Like
Oh,
we don't
did you make
use
that because of me?
no, no. That was my she knows that she was my mentor, but she's retired now. Um, but that was what she came up with. There's certain ways that you should say things.
I
You
love that. Yes,
know?
I work on that now. I'm probably terrible with my husband. I need to work on how I say things. With the people you love, it's so easy just to say it, which is bad. Like those are the people you need to be the most mindful of. But give me an example. Give me an example of one. Do you remember one of the this is how we say it? Like asking for money was probably a lot of different. Oh, I
Yes.
think we used to not say that we didn't do discounts. We did
Right.
like a customer loyalty or something like that, or like a what did we say?
Oh my gosh.
I say like when I give people a discount now, it's like a loyalty, a courtesy.
Courtesy.
You say
That's the
courtesy.
word. That's
Yes.
the word.
Yes, we'd
Hmm.
say courtesy instead of like a discount.
Hmm.
Whenever someone would come into the practice when I was working the concierge,
Hmm.
I would stand up and shake their hand. Terry, I can't even tell you how many times I've gone into a dental office or a medical office, a hospital, and no one even looks at me. They don't stand up, they don't greet me, they're on their phone, they're painting their nails, they're drinking their Starbucks.
Hmm.
Stand up, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Like, oh, we would look at people's pictures. I think like we'd take pictures and I would
Yes.
know who that person was when they came in.
Yes. It was so important to be able to address that person by name.
Mm.
And then in the treatment rooms where they had a lot of time to talk with the patient, they would make little notes like little Susie went to camp last week. So,
Yes,
just
yes.
little things in their lives that when
Yeah.
you can come back and say things to them, uh, it it built a relationship.
Yes. I didn't realize. I mean, honestly, I probably had not thought about how much of an impact you and that office and all of those systems and the focus on
Mhm.
relationships had on me until you commented on Facebook, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Terry is the reason that I do a lot of the things the way I do."
I
I'm so good.
appreciate you saying that.
True, it's so true. We probably need to wrap this up, but
Okay,
I have a couple questions for you. Um,
okay.
what's one thing you wish every young woman knew before she went into the workplace? Is there anything you would give a young woman going into the workplace, someone coming out of college?
Yes. Um, when seeking a job, you should be prepared um, to be professional, to place value on where you are applying to,
Mhm,
and find out a little bit about that business before going in. Dress professional, speak professional. Um, so oftentimes, like in my latter years with the dentist, I mean, people would come in and they'd have their pink sweats on,
oh my goodness.
like, or sit like this.
She's leaning back in her chair.
Yes, in case you
Way
can't
too
see
casual.
me.
She doesn't have her legs crossed prim and proper.
Yes,
It's shocking, isn't it?
it is
Okay.
shocking.
Yeah, look
Truly
people in
it
the
is.
eyes, shake their hand,
Hmm.
be professional.
Yes.
Um, what are you most proud of as you look back on your career?
I'm proud of the relationships that I built.
Mhm,
Um, like you coming back to me, it tells me that I did a good job. I still have a very good relationship with Dr. Moore and his wife, with
Patty.
Dr. Henderson. Yes, in fact, they're coming here next weekend.
Oh, so nice. Give
Yes.
them my love. Tell them we were
Yeah,
talking about them in a
I
good way.
will.
Love that
I
they've created.
will. I will. Um, but I can see how God's hand was in my walk the
Mhm,
entire way.
mhm.
And when I look back on it, it's like, well, that just doesn't happen to everybody. That just doesn't happen. I had to fire somebody, and when I went for an interview, she was there and the staff. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have this job. But when they left the two of us alone, she said to me, I so appreciate how you handled letting me go.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Who does that happen to? I don't know.
That's
But I really appreciate this
Mhm.
because, you don't know until
Right,
moments like this. You just
right.
don't.
Well, people just kind of go on their way. And like, I have all these
Mhm,
nuggets that I say, and
mhm,
you don't really remember where you picked them up. And so
mhm,
it's good for me to reflect and remember, like, oh my gosh, I didn't come up with that on my own. Someone helped me get to that spot. So
mhm.
I'm so thankful for you and for what
No,
you did for me.
thank you.
If you had to give your younger self any advice, one piece of
Mm.
advice, what would you tell your 45-year-old self? I'm 45, Terry. What would you tell your 45-year-old self?
God's got you.
Mhm,
God's got you. And if you just believe
mhm,
that piece, then He'll show up
mhm,
and He'll lead you as
mhm,
long as you believe
mhm,
and hear Him.
mhm.
So sometimes you have to,
Be quiet and
knock
listen.
out the noise.
I know. I know. I've been praying that a lot recently. Like, God, I need to hear from you. I want to hear from you, and
Mhm,
just be quiet. Like, I need your wisdom in my life to make the decisions I need to make, to lead my
mhm,
family, to lead this business in the right
mhm,
way. Yeah, we
mhm.
need we need that wisdom. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
What great advice. I love it. Thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome. I'm
So thankful for
happy
you. I'm
to
so
see your
grateful.
face.
Thankful. Thanks again for joining us today on the Driven podcast, where we are all about growing relationships in life and business. We hope today's story reminded you that behind every brand, every business, and every big idea, there is a real person choosing to show up, stay rooted, and lead with intention. Your story matters. So keep building, keep loving, and keep doing the hard, beautiful work of showing up in both life and business. We'll catch you next time with another real, inspiring conversation. And until then, never let love and kindness leave you. Always be a fountain, not a drain. And don't ever forget that you are the best.